Hey guys, Alex here from Computer Headquarters, and today we're going to talk about the Artesian builds Lot 1, which is in Oakland. I'm going to kind of go through all the pictures that they had for the auction and kind of just give you guys my thoughts and stuff, because I am going to be bidding on this, and I kind of want to I figured you guys might think it's fun for some people to kind of know my thoughts. Sorry, my phone's ringing. My thoughts on how I'm going to be bidding this and where I see value and little like gems and things on pictures of zooming in and out. I've made this video like 2 times yesterday, and I was not happy with how it all played out because it was going to be one really long, over an hour video showing all the pictures from both lots. And I think it's better to just break this up into smaller chunks that will be easier for you guys to consume. So in any case, I'm going to turn my camera off so you can see my screen and see all the pictures. Alright, so now you can see my screen, and this is the Artesian Builds Twitter account, and you click this Dropbox link, which is already open here, and sorry, I'm going to go back. So this takes you to, you want to get to Lot 1, Oakland, for the pictures. Here are all the pictures. I recommend downloading them. It's easier to look at that way. I already did that. So here we go, guys. We're going to jump into these pictures. I'm going to be skipping, going really fast on some pictures, and then other pictures I'm going to be spending a lot of time. So starting here, there's nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here, nothing interesting here. Here's a pallet jack, that's great. But more importantly, if you look in the background, you can see some builds are going on. So there is a computer case right here with a box on top. The box is an 011 dynamic case, very expensive case. Likely that's what's underneath this box. This is a theme you will see throughout these pictures, where they like to put the case in the build as it's being worked on the floor, and then the box with maybe boxes for AIOs and motherboards and video cards and things of that nature. They go inside the case box stacked on top, and then I believe when they're all done, they probably throw a lot of those boxes away. They put the foam things back on the case, put the case back in the box, and ship it out. Another thing to note right away is if you see a paper like these papers right here, that usually means that this is an order. So this will have an order number, it'll have the person's email address, their phone number, and then a full list of all the parts that are going to be going inside of the computer system. And then sometimes they even write some notes. The employees that were there were writing some notes about, like, we need to order this RAM kit or whatever. And then there's usually a price on there, which we're gonna see some very interesting prices, in my opinion. But also of note in this picture, you can see like this build right here. If I zoom in on this one specifically, you can see there's an EVGA video card, which I've identified as a 3080 Ti. You can't see that in this picture very well, but there's a future picture where I got a better angle, and it is a 3080 Ti. So that's great. There's some more stuff underneath the desks here, the tables. I have no idea what's in all this stuff. Like, this could be a case in this box. It could be a returned computer that it has Artesian tape on top of it. I have no idea what's in there. And then this case is one of the coolest cases I've ever seen. This is called a Thermaltake Distrocase 350p. It's extremely rare. They retail for like $1,000, and my understanding is they're almost impossible to find. I could be wrong. I've never heard or seen of this case before. I've seen this auction, so that is a little bit exciting. We'll see a lot more angles of that case in future pictures. So let's keep rolling here. Here's another interesting picture. Starting at the top left, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases. These are all higher end Corsair cases. And then it looks like maybe some more stuff up here. Not totally sure. You can see yellow through that box. The box is open. It looks like they're using this for storage. No idea what's up there. And there's like blue tape, painter's tape that they wrote notes on, but we can't, even zooming in, I can't read any of this. So the same thing with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. No idea what's in them. Can't read the labels. And then these boxes are really weird. They all have stickers, or sorry, labels on paper that say like side panel white, side panel black. So I don't really know if these are like Leon Lee case panels, or maybe they were producing their own cases that were like partially wood. So these could be panels for building their wood cases. I don't know. We'll have to find out if we win. There's an 011 air case, but if you look at this one, same thing. It looks like it's got one of these notes that say it has panels in it. And then we've got a fractal torrent case. Is a really expensive, really awesome case. And this actually does have a build paper on the front, so this is probably a build in some form of completion, who knows. And then we've got another computer down here. This is an 011 dynamic case, and This is its box, like I mentioned earlier, sitting on top, and you can see there is what looks like an EVGA video card just poking out there on the top. We've also got another build right here with an 011 dynamic. It looks like the case is probably underneath it as well. There's a Ryzen CPU right here, and it looks like maybe a 3090 FTW3 on top of that box. Unfortunately, zooming in on this, I can't really read. It looks almost like it says barbecue or something right there, but I have no idea what any of this says. And then we've got one more build back here, but I can't really see what that is. So definitely some value here on this picture. This is another interesting picture. Here's another one of these side panel white things where it's a Lee case with a bunch of tape on top and it says side panel. No idea what those are. And then this is a shelf that doesn't seem to be anywhere on the inventory list. There is an inventory list that says basically here's all the stuff you're bidding on that's in this warehouse. And just to be really clear, guys, if there's something that is in these pictures that is not on the inventory list, that is still part of the auction. So for instance, just as a very simple explanation, if I see a pen on a desk, that pen, and if I win the auction, that pen becomes my pen. Now, let's say I don't want the pen. It's junk, it has no value to me. I still have to be in charge of disposing of the pen. So if I win, I'm gonna have to do a lot of labor and bring my team up to this warehouse to pack it all up, and we're gonna have to get a dumpster and throw a lot of this stuff away. There's gonna be a lot of trash involved in this as well. So anyway, this entire shelving system, to my understanding, is not represented anywhere on the inventory sheets. And if we zoom in, we can see some Ryzen boxes here that might be empty boxes. We can see an Intel CPU box, could be empty. And there are 2 gigabyte RTX video cards boxes there, and looks like 2 more RTX video card boxes here. There's a resin computer case here. This is like kind of a beta program thing they were working on. A wood case here, a couple more wood cases here, another one here. So a bunch of little knick-knacky things. Not really sure about the condition of any of this stuff. And I'm really the most curious about this ROG box right here, because we never get another better angle of this box anywhere in any of the other pictures. So I'm very curious about that. And then finally, here is one of the angles of the Star Wars Death Star computer, which will be in a bunch more pictures. We'll get better angles of it later. Here's some not cubbies, but little plastic bins for little pieces. I don't know what's all in these little bins, but they're not really reflected on the inventory. And then this is that same shelf we saw a minute ago that has those 2 RTX cards, some CPU boxes, and that ROG thing that I don't know what it is. The Death Star computer as well. Here is their streaming table. I think they have 2 different streaming spots in this warehouse, but there are a couple of monitors, there's a TV. I'm not sure if there are any computers hooked up to all this stuff over here. No idea. There's a refrigerator, and there was another refrigerator in the previous picture, so I think there are 2 total refrigerators. And there's that Death Star computer again. One thing also, I don't know, there's an Aorus video card box here, and I don't think this is on the inventory list anywhere either, as well as like an 011 dynamic. So there's like a build right here. It looks like it could be pretty expensive. And I don't think we get maybe one other angle of this at another picture, but that's about it. So here's another angle of the Star Wars computer. You can see there's actually like a CPU cooler, some cables and stuff from this angle, and we'll get another angle later that shows that it has a 3070 in it. And here's that same RTX Aorus card right here that we just saw in the last picture, and I have no idea what it is because these are the only 2 pictures I think we ever see of that in the whole list of pictures. And then there are a bunch of cases over here that we'll get a better angle on later. Here are some more 011 dynamic Evo cases up top, and then a build. Looks like this is a build in progress. Looks like a case. I'm not sure if that's an 011 dynamic. I think it is. It's probably this 011 dynamic mini. I think this case probably goes to this box. We've got a Ryzen CPU. It looks like an SSD memory and a motherboard, and I think this is just a mouse pad. So there doesn't appear to be a video card associated with this just yet. And then we've got another case here, and some 2 Cosmos C700Ms. Those are like $400 cases. So those are really cool. I don't know what this white box is, and I can't really make out this stuff down here, but I do see an Intel i5 CPU box right here, so that's something of value. Here's another shelf And I believe this is the shelf that we had a different angle of earlier, and this is like the Star Wars Death Star thing, I think, right here. So 3 Helios cases, and then it looks like a couple NZXT H510s up here, some vinyl wrap. I think they did a lot of vinyl wrap on cases. Here's an iBuyPower case. Looks like an NZXT H1, and I don't know what all these boxes are actually up here. I'm not sure. They look like they're definitely something in there. So this one says something about Pluto Black, it looks like. This one says Arc Case, so that will be a mystery. And then down here, it looks like there's some sort of a build-in process, but the reflection of this huge glass pane, and then the glass on the tempered glass side panel, I can't tell if there are parts inside of that or not. But there are some more parts down here. I can't see what these are either. There are a lot of these chairs. They look pretty nice. I don't know what brand they are. Let's keep moving. So this looks like a 12-pack of 011 Dynamic XLs. Those are really expensive, nice cases. Here are a bunch of those wood cases that they designed. I think these are in-house designs. Apparently some people go bonkers for these cases. I don't know anything about them. I'm not like a huge Artesian builds fan or anything. I didn't really know who they were even before the drama happened, so I'm a little bit removed from all that stuff. But you can see they had a bunch of these cases lined up. I think there's somewhere around 50 of them. There's another 011 Dynamic up top, and there are some more cases, Fantex, and some Thermaltake. I think these are P5 TG cases down here. And you can see there are a couple more builds in progress back here in the background, and there's this mint computer case that we never get a good angle of anywhere at all. And there's some more parts on this table that we never get a good angle at pretty much any of this stuff back here, and any of the pictures, and none of this stuff is on the manifest sheets. Here's another really, really interesting picture. All of these boxes appear to have been opened. They all appear to have some painter's tape with notes on them. I can't read any of the notes. These could all be completed builds, ready to go. Or they could be empty boxes where the computer cases are somewhere else in the warehouse that we will see in other pictures, and they're just putting the boxes here for storage until they're done building them. I have no idea, but it's impossible to say. But I do know that they're open and there's notes on them. There are some more of these Razor box, the 011 Dynamics that are Razors. Razor edition, I should say. You can see this one's open as well, and there are some of these boxes that are like this. They're all beat up with tape all over them. No idea what's in those. And then you can see it looks like there are a bunch of these pyramid cases. These are really expensive, like $400 each. So they're stacked 1, 2, 3 high, and it looks like they go at least 4 deep. So there are at least 12 of these pyramid cases. These are not on the manifest. So that's a lot of quote-unquote free money that wasn't on the manifest. Only thing really worth noting here is this really cool ROG case. I've never seen this before. It looks custom. I do believe that like this clear part right along here probably lights up RGB. Could be a cool thing for us to keep around. Maybe turn that into a system for us to show off at our warehouse or in our office. Up top, you can see there are these Artesian builds branded like ITX open frame computer cases. I'm not familiar with these, but they look kind of cool. And then it looks like a lot of like glass and things of that nature, probably for building custom cases, but nothing else too exciting. It's just an angle that shows a bunch of the mouse pad storage over here and some cases up top. Nothing too interesting here. I don't know if all these metal panels are to go with the wood cases. Like maybe you take these panels and you cut the wood and you make the whole wood case, but there's a lot more wood right here too. So a lot of this stuff is big questions to me. It's more just storage, but you can see way back here in the background there is a Razer 011 Dynamic with the build underneath it, and we're gonna get to that one I think in the future, because I think there's like actually a person's name on the paper attached to it, and we're actually gonna be able to read their build list, which is pretty interesting. This is kind of not a good picture. I'm just gonna keep moving. Okay, there's a lot of money right here that was not reflected in the inventory list. So none of this stuff in these boxes are in the inventory list, and they all look like they're builds 1, 2, 3, 4 set up to go. In the pink box, there is an RTX 3080 Ti and an Intel CPU, so probably a pretty high-end Intel CPU, and there could be some nice RAM in there and a whole bunch of other stuff we can't see. Looks like a couple RGB fans in this next one, an EVGA, I think that's a 750 GT power supply, and looks like a Corsair AIO. Next box has a 3060 Ti and it looks like some Corsair fans and probably an EVGA GT series power supply. And then this one has a MSI Z590 Tomahawk motherboard, 550 watt power supply, and you can see an Intel CPU box there, and a Castle. It's a Deep Cool Castle 240EX RGB AIO. So definitely a lot of good stuff here, and parts that were not reflected on the inventory sheet. And then it looks like there's a case down below. It looks like a Lee Land Cool too. Okay, so this is a huge wall of like mouse pads, and my understanding is these are all like custom mouse pads that they had made for Artesian Builds, the company, as well as some of these foam panels that they made with their branding on it. But I noticed like this one said Buddha Rooftop, and there's another mouse pad in another picture that appears to be a Buddha. I don't know if it's Buddha or Buddha, but he's a streamer, and he has a pretty cool branding that I've seen in I think that we'll see a picture of this mouse pad, I believe, later, and actually it's pretty sweet. And there's some guy selling 2 of them on eBay for like $500. But yeah, tons of mouse pads here. If I win them, I'm gonna put like $0 on these because I don't want to have cost on these mouse pads. I may end up having to pay for them, pay more than 0 though, because who knows what I'll end up. If I win, who knows if I'll have to pay way more than I want to. All right, here's another angle of that Distrocase 350p I talked about earlier. It looks like it has a full video card. We'll get a better picture of this case later, but here's more of those computer builds that you can see have the paper on them. You can even read the order number on these pictures, and you can see down below there's some more stuff going on. I can't really tell, and there's some video cards in the background that we'll see in later pictures. And there's another really cool computer down here, but we'll keep moving. Another angle. You can see this says 12 gig. That's how I determined it was a 3080 Ti, or maybe it's because I was able to read this. No, it could be a 3080 12 gig, but it's probably a 3080 Ti. Anyway, we'll keep moving here. There's a bunch of these Ryujin 360 AIOs, a bunch of cool Corsair AIOs, and then in the background over here you can see a couple builds on these tables. We'll see those later. Here's those same builds right here. Again, we'll get a better view of those later. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these Ryujin AIOs. There's a version 2 that's out now that's worth a lot more money, but these are still pretty expensive. I think they're like $250 or $300. But nothing too crazy in this picture. So here is better angles on Rami's computer that seems to be 100% complete. And then I don't know anything special about this one, but Rami has expressed on the internet, I found things on like Twitter or Reddit where he was saying you can even see my build in the picture, and he's pretty mad about it, as I would imagine he should be mad. I think he paid for this. Hopefully he got refunded. But yeah, it's just sitting here. If I win, I would love to connect with him and work out. Hopefully he got all of his money back, and maybe I could like sell it to him for half price or something. I think that'd be a win for everyone. But it looks like he had a Founders Edition video card based on that box. And then there's a box down below that has more parts in it, and another box down here that has more parts. I don't know if this box has parts for this build and this box has parts for this build. I have no idea. They could be unrelated to each other. This build does not have a video card in it yet, but you can see it does have an ROG motherboard, and it has an EVGA power supply. And there is a video card here on the table that looks like it says FTW3, so it's something pretty expensive. So these are both, there's a lot of value in these two computers. And again, if Rami wants to buy this computer still, I would love to sell it to him for a lot less than what he would have paid for it, so that he gets a good deal. 6 monitors, one of them's a Dell. The rest of them are Asus. You can see some builds back here in the corner. Not a good angle. I know that from another picture, there's a computer right here in the corner too. But we'll keep moving. Here are a bunch more builds on the shelves. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then this bin being 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 8 builds on this shelf. Who knows what's in the boxes though? Are the boxes empty? Are the boxes filled with parts? Is there a case still in the box? It's really hard to tell. So it's really a gamble at that point. But you can see there are some builds on this table that are queued up, and there are some builds on these tables going back this way. And we're gonna get better angles of all this stuff in future pictures. So here's one of those better angles, and you can see this build looks like it was pretty awesome, and it was in the middle of being worked on. There are a bunch of purple sleeve cables. Got one of the special wood top computers here, and then back here another computer that was being worked on. But sniper. Who's this guy? What's he doing? I'm guessing he's packing stuff. I don't really know. Maybe he was an employee that worked there and he was helping them manifest stuff. I have no idea, but it's kind of unusual seeing a person in the picture. And then you have to start asking yourself, well, who is he? Does he have access to the building? Is there going to be stuff missing if I buy it? You know, all those kind of questions. But also there's another one of these Distrocase 350p $1,000 cases right here. So this is the second one that we're seeing. Here's another angle of those 6 monitors, and you can see there are a bunch of computers back here on these shelves. So there's actually a Helios case right here that I'm touching with my mouse. You can't really see it. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 computers on this shelf that look like they're in various states of completion. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes up top. You can see a video card here, video card here. So I'm hoping that's actually 9 whole computers, but these boxes might go to these systems, who knows. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 or 4 computers back here on this shelf and a couple more up there. And then this is just another angle of some of those other computers we saw earlier. And then here is another angle from, we saw these computers earlier from a distance, and you can see on this shelf there's a 1650 video card, a Ryzen box that's CPU's not in there. There's a X570 motherboard, power supply, AIO, and a couple cases. So most likely these parts are probably in one of these cases right here, if I had to guess. And there's some boxes down below. And this one looks pretty beat up, so who knows what's in there. And then you get a little peek here of this one, and this looks like it has some really nice Leon Lee fans. And it looks like some RGB RAM installed right here on a motherboard, so this might be a really expensive build too. Alright, here's that Distrocase 350p that was on a table. Another one of these nice looking chairs, and then a little zoom in here shows that they had a Thermaltake P5 Red Edition with a motherboard and a video card and a power supply. It looks like there was some sort of a test bench. And on this side, maybe another test bench with a ROG box holding up a motherboard, a power supply over here, and it looks like a video card over here. So some more good parts. None of this stuff was on the manifest, so this is all kind of like free money, quote unquote, free stuff, but I have to also imagine that the other people I'm bidding against are looking at these same pictures and they're making their notes and going, okay, everything they listed is worth this much money to me, and everything they didn't list is also worth an additional amount of money. So that's my guess anyway. This picture has the pyramid computer. We're gonna get a better angle of that, and there's this huge receptionist table. It looks like a pretty nice piece of furniture. Another one of these nice looking computer chairs, and then we've got this build in the back. It definitely has a video card. It's full system, but you can see it does not have an IO shield, so I think this is probably an internal use computer used by the people that were working there. There's also this computer right here, and we can't see from this angle, but there's a sticker on here on a different angle that says Media Rig Number 1. So I think this is a full system that they were using as well for the employees. Some cool chairs, like a waiting room chairs. Looks like they have some sort of a coffee maker thing going on over here. Oh, look, there's that guy's sleeve again with the red shirt. And then some food, you know, we got some dried mangoes, some peanut butter pretzels. All right, my bid's going way through the roof now. This is probably the most exciting picture of the whole lot. Those peanut butter pretzels. We've got some more builds. This looks like a really nice system. It looks like it has 9 QL series Corsair fans. Those are really expensive fans, and it looks like everything looks really nice, but does not have a video card in it at the moment. And then this is kind of like a interesting little thing here. It says MOI and then CR1T. And my best guess is that there's a streamer and this is his name, and so it's probably Crit, you know, CR1T is probably Crit, and then maybe MOI, maybe it's Moist Crit, I don't know, but it says parts box, so there's probably a video card in the box that goes to this build. Maybe there isn't, who knows. This box looks like it's just a bunch of, like, I don't know, mouse pads or something, I have no idea. And then here's a case, and I think that's everything interesting in this picture. This picture is kind of a waste of time. This picture is a waste of time. This is another cool little thing that if you zoom in, you find like a little treasure. So this is a Thermaltake P5 case down here that's been mounted into this rolling case, and you can see there's a power supply, there's a motherboard, so it's like a full system down there, and they have that mounted inside of this rolling cart. And then they've got a monitor, an Asus monitor, also mounted with like these like kind of like mining frame. I don't know what you call those metal things, but they custom built this cart in a cool way. I like it. Here's a couple tables, nice looking tables to to mention that too. And there's a computer in the back, so this is probably another internal use computer. Bunch of junk on the table. I really want to know what these things are. They look like some sort of limited edition collectibles, or who knows. But if I win, I'll find out and I'll report back. How about that? Here's a room with a bunch of, I would say, works in progress. There's a Cougar Conquer 2 case back here. Who knows what kind of shape it's in. Some sort of NZXT case, looks like, with an orange strip in there. And then a couple, that's an Asus, I forgot the name of it. It's like Regis or something. Really expensive case. Looks like an NZXT H1 frame. Some panels. And then here's a 3D printer box, and I think this is the 3D printer right here. So that's not on the manifest. The 3D printer, that's nice. Something here, some case. Probably another case down here. And there's a monitor, so there could be a computer back here. I'm not sure. And then there's this pyramid case that I think the pieces for it are down below. And then looks like they were building something out of like sticks over here. Who knows what that is all about. Couple computer chairs, no big deal. But if you zoom in, you can see that there's one of these Asus cube case things that's really cool. Those are like a $400 case, and you can see there are video cables connected to a video card, so that's a full build. That's worth a lot of money. And then look at this. If you really snipe in the background, there's a Z590 Vision D motherboard and an RTX 3080, which appears to be a Strix white. Those are really expensive and hard to find. So yeah, there's some little things in the background. I don't know, those boxes might be empty. Looks like some sort of wood related table. I don't know. Looks like maybe they're organizing some wood parts over here. Okay, so now we're into the woodworking area. So we've got the big sander, we've got the DeWalt saw, and then we've got the Shapeoko 3, what do they call it? A Benchtop 3D cutting machine. So this thing's like $3,000, and it has a vacuum cleaner connected to it to get all the bits out. Now this is run by a computer, and this is a really awesome piece of machinery. And it looks like they had some little kind of like makeshift computer setup back here in the corner. Keyboard, mouse, monitor on top of a Cougar Conquer 2 box. So I'm hoping that behind the monitor is a computer system, and hopefully, if I win, there's a computer system that has all the files on how they were making all this wood stuff. So if we ever wanted to start selling the wood stuff, we would have a way to do it. This is not important. There's another view of that computer. There's the woodcutter, the saw, sander, bunch of lights. This used to be someone working here, I think, but the computer's gone, so now it's just a monitor and keyboard. This room seems to be really turned upside down. I would love to know what are in these boxes, because it looks like someone kind of started packing the stuff in this room, and they must have packed stuff into these boxes. All these shelves are just like empty, and furniture is like thrown on top of desks. It's a mess. This is that same Death Star thing that you saw in the other picture where they're building a computer in this like big Death Star. And my understanding when I researched this is that this is actually a fire pit, and they tried to transform it from a fire pit into a computer case, and they must have bought 2 of them. Keycrawl and keyboard. Okay, I think this is Noah's office, the ex-CEO, and I say that because I think there are a lot of like specialty things in this room. Mainly over here on this shelf. So there's an SR3 dark motherboard. This could just be the box. If the motherboard's in there, that's a $700 motherboard. This is an Aorus Z690 box. I don't know which one, but it might be the Extreme. Looks really expensive. This looks like a 3080 or 3090 FTW3 video card. So a lot of money on top of here. Or possibly this is just a heatsink and this is an empty box and an empty box. Impossible to know. Motherboard down here looks like it has Thermaltake RAM in it. A couple QL fans, Corsair fans. Don't know what that is. And it looks like there are more parts down below, but look at that. There's another one of these Distrocase 350Ps, and this looks like a complete build with rigid tubing. So this might be like a $5,000 system right here, but we can't really tell from this angle. But we do know it's like a $1,000 case. There's a box, we don't know what's in there. Anyway, that's definitely a lot of money in that picture, and there's a lot of money in this picture too. Here's a 3090 Founders Edition video card. I don't know which motherboard this is, but it appears to be an ROG motherboard with, I think, an EK water block, EK water block installed, and probably some sort of like Elgato streaming card here. And so you can see some EK like quantum water block stuff that they're probably going to put on this video card, but there could be tons of expensive parts in this room right here. Don't know what these panels are. This is that special resin case that the owner was working on, where it's like partially wood, partially resin, supposed to be like 100% sustainable or something like that, and it's like a partial build. Looks like the video card was removed. This looks like just a case. Doesn't look like there's parts inside. This is hard to tell what's inside that case because the picture's blurry. We've seen this before. We've seen the snacks before. Okay, this is my number one question. Why do they have 2 washers and 2 dryers? I've thought this over, talked to my employees. We can't figure it out. Here's their conference room. Looks like a really nice conference table, a bunch of pretty nice chairs, and it's still somebody's birthday. Bunch of parts up here. I don't think these are manifested. There's like some AIOs and things of that nature. A bunch of Noctua fans. These look like they were on a mining rig, if you had to ask me, the way these are all mounted together like that. And there is a video card box right here. That's interesting. This looks like another place they were filming, and if you look way down here, it looks like this is a mining rig rack. So maybe they were taking apart mining rigs like right before the end. I did read some notes, people saying that Noah was like doing a secret mining operation or something, so who knows if any of that's true. Could just be rumors. Here is that Buddha, however you say it, mouse pad. I think it's awesome. I really like it a lot. So there hopefully are more of those in those mouse pad boxes downstairs. And then in the background suite, a basketball, a Z590A motherboard, and some more parts piled up here. Looks like a Strix motherboard there, Corsair AIO, a bunch of things back here, and a bunch of mining frames for some reason. And then under the desk is some sort of computer system. It looks like it has an external AIO mounted to it, or a radiator or something. Don't know what that is. We got a TV cart with a TV. I don't really care about that too much. Some more of those mining rig racks. This looks like just a bunch of glass and like supplies. Okay, $10,000 laser cutter. This, if I win, I am really stoked about this. This does not look very big in this picture, but this thing is gigantic. You need a pallet basically to move this thing, and I think I read it weighs like 800 pounds. It is an amazing laser cutter. It seems to be the entry-level version, I believe, has a 30 kW kilowatt. I think that's kilowatt laser, which is really high end. It could go all the way up to 100. It's a CO2 laser. It should theoretically be able to cut through metal. So this thing is huge. It just doesn't look big in the picture. So it looks like some more wood, and there's an FTW3 box right there. Pallet jack, we saw that earlier. I don't know what these boxes are for. Printer, bunch of cases. This is a somewhat finished build. You can see it has a GTX 1650 in it, and there's a list of stuff here. It says install DDR5, so it might just be missing the memory. Okay, we're starting to get into the builds where it looks like they wrote on them, and I don't know. Again, I'm not like a Artesian builds fan by any means. I don't know anything about them from previous. My guess is these are streamers that had like people donate money to their stream to buy them the PC, and maybe these names are the names of the people that donated, but I don't know. But this looks like it was going to be a pretty expensive computer. It has an ROG motherboard, missing the power supply. This is one of the coolest computers in the whole lot. So this is a Kirby themed computer, and my understanding is it was like someone's assistant's computer when I started Googling about it. So same with the Rami thing. If I buy all of this stuff, I'd love to give them like a crazy generous discount, assuming they got their money back. I don't want to try to make people spend more money that never got their money back, but you know, if I can give them half off or something, I'd really like to do that for the bad experience they had with the people that were running this company. So here's another angle. I really like that Kirby thing, the Kirby theme, sorry. Another build that was mostly done. You can see a Founders Edition card there. Looks like they had a bunch of LL series or QL series or mixed series of Corsair fans. Looks like a pretty much complete build. It looks really nice. And it has this guy. This is a really expensive AIO. Another partially complete build with an 011 dynamic. Another one here. Looks like it's missing the video card. Looks like this must have been made for that streamer that has the mouse pad, because this is BUDDHA. I don't know if it's like just a fan of that streamer or if it was literally being built for the streamer, but it's branded for him with that Buddha or Buddha, however you say it. And this is that same artwork that was on the mouse pad. Really sweet looking computer. Did it have a video card? I can't see there, can't see there. And this is a different system, so I don't know if that one had a video card. Another system here, looks like it does have a video card. Another system with a video card. Yep, video card. This one I can't tell. I think that's an empty. Oh wait, that looks like an HDMI port. Yeah, it does have a video card. And this is that Helios. We saw this earlier. Helios case, I should say. This is a Asus Helios case. It's the white edition because it's silver on the top. That's the same case I'm using. Anyway, another computer. It looks like no video card from this angle. Oh, this is a table that we saw earlier, but this is a different angle of the table. So, this is the wood top computer we saw earlier, and this is the one that has the purple sleeve cables. I'm just gonna kind of go through these a little bit quicker. That's a GT501 case, I think. This looks like a nice system. This looks like a really nice system. I think this is the same one we just saw from a different angle. This is the Razer case we saw from really far away earlier, and I want to show you guys my Sherlock Holmes skills here. So Jaden Hunt, I've emailed him to see if he has any information about this, but I'm hoping he got all of his money back. And I just want to show you guys what he paid. I know the prices have dropped dramatically over the past, this is a February order, and the prices have changed a lot, but $3,600 for a 12600 and a 3060 Ti. That just sounds crazy to me. $3,600, even when the prices were high. I mean, that's like an i9 system. Anyway, that really is baffling for me, but it is what it is. Hopefully I could win it, and maybe he still needs his computer and I could sell it to him for half price. Here's another system that we saw earlier, but a better picture of it, and it looks like it does have a video card. This is just an empty case. Here's a box full of goodies: 3080 Ti, some ROG something or other, and some other stuff. Great. And another box. Oh, you know what? These are bins that we saw earlier, but just with different angles. Because I remember seeing these fans. Okay, yeah. So there's an Intel processor in there, and we probably could zoom in on it and know what processor it is. So there's a 3070. It says there, 32 gigs RAM, 10700KF, and it's Nick Merck's MFAM PC. That's interesting. So Nick Merck's is a streamer. So maybe he did some giveaway. I think this one said something too. Nick Merck's the Spartan. Interesting. So that has a 10900KF theoretically, and it says 3090, but that's a 3080 Ti, so I don't know what's going on with that. Here's that same Distrocase 350p we saw earlier, but this has a much better angle. This is the first one we saw, and look, that is a Maximus Z690 Apex motherboard. That's like a $700 motherboard. BK water block, and again on this video card, probably a 3090, some Corsair Dominator RAM, and it looks like it has a Thor power supply. So this is like $10,000 computer. This is a crazy one. Another really crazy computer, we saw this earlier, but this is a better angle. Looks like it's fully kitted out with Corsair Dominator RAM, and it looks like they're pretty much almost completely done with all the water cooling in here. It looks like a pretty nice job they were doing. So maybe we'll have to finish this computer and sell it as a full system if we win. Another really nice computer, but just missing the video card. Oh yeah, this is the one we saw earlier, so the video card's right there next to it. And there's Rami's computer we talked about too. He's got his video card in there. Another system underneath the desk. Looks like a video card is in that. This is probably that same computer at the desk. And those six monitors. Another computer under a desk does have a video card. And another computer under a desk, we don't know what's in it. Paper shredder. Chair. Luggage. Another system here though, I don't know what this one's all about. Looks like it has parts in it. This is that Media Rig 1 computer I mentioned earlier, and then something here, I don't know exactly what this is, but it's like a mini PC. Here's that Pyramid built computer with the rainbow sleeve cables. I do not know if it has a video card, but it definitely has RGB RAM. Brother printer, space heater, seating. Here's the Death Star PC and some parts that went to it, so you can see an Asus motherboard. And here it is again. And here's that mining rig. And okay, some more PCs. I'm gonna skip the videos because they take too long. There's a cooking pan here. That's interesting. This looks like a really nice build. That looks completely finished. No idea what this is. Bunch of video cards. They appear to be new, unopened. This is a really rare video card. It's the Noctua edition RTX 3070. They're really hard to find. And then this is a white. Anything that's a white edition is always hard to find as well. But this is extremely hard to find. That's a rare video card. That's pretty much it for this. Just moving along, trying to get. I think we're almost done. We've seen that. This is a bunch of like cables, like RGB cables, and look, Mr. Beast chocolate. RGB RAM, SS or hard drives. Lots of motherboards. Don't know what these are. No idea. We've seen these cases. Another review of those cases. And this is another shelf of cases, but this is the Death Star from a different angle that we haven't seen before, and you can see 3070. So it's a 3070. There could be a TI, so it could be a 3070 Ti, but this is that Death Star computer, whatever they were doing with it. It looks kind of cool, like a neat idea, and they've even taped on like a X-Wing and a TIE Fighter up top. Oh, I'm sorry. I think that's actually the like advanced TIE Fighter. I don't know what it's called, but I think that's like the one that Darth Vader or Kylo Ren flies. It's like better than a regular TIE Fighter. I'm not a huge Star Wars nerd, so I don't know, but some people might get mad at me for not knowing. Not that anyone's gonna watch this. Okay, more free. I just call it free stuff because it's not on the inventory sheet. Look, there's a ROG Thor Platinum Power Supply. It's like a $400 power supply. A Zotac 3080, really expensive free thing again. X570 Aqua motherboard, really expensive motherboard. And this is, I think, a Z690 Extreme because it says DDR5. Really expensive motherboard. So like, there's a bunch of really expensive stuff on this table just chilling, and not manifested. I can't believe it's not manifested. So, and anyway, there's some stuff on this chair. We'll get a better angle right there. So, looks like some radiators and fans and stuff. And this looks like a Thermaltake PG packaging down here. I don't know what that box is for. But there's a bunch of stuff over in this area, like SX800. There's some EVJ logo. There might be stuff down there that's not manifested. Bunch of cases. Bunch of cases, bunch of cases, bunch of cases, bunch of cases. Boxes, just boxes and boxes and boxes. And we're done. Great. That took a long time. It says I've been recording for 40 minutes. So, 40-minute video, guys. Thanks for sticking with me through the whole thing. Let me know what you think. My estimated bid, I believe, for Oakland was somewhere in the ballpark of... I'm trying to pull it up real quick. I think it was around $50,000 for Oakland of maximum value. I'd want to bid on it. So we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. See you on the next one when we go over all of the North Carolina inventory.